Hey guys, what's more important than nice cameras and lenses? Light. In this Christmas special, I'm going to take you back to my trip to Lanzarote last week, where I'm going to photograph 3 beautiful models and hopefully something for everybody. I've got one Thai model, one Italian model and one Brazilian model. This video will give you a taste of what I share on Patreon. Patreon is my teaching platform where I teach mostly about model photography, portraiture, anything to do with Leica and some general photography as well. I'll share some behind the scenes footage from all 3 model shoots. If you want to binge watch over the Christmas period, click the link below. You can watch most videos for the price of a Big Mac, and you can watch all the content for the price of a Big Mac meal. I have to thank Sirui for sponsoring this video. They kindly sent me 2 light units, and I'm going to show you how I light models with daylight, with 1 light setup and with 2 light setups. Let's jump into the video. Hey guys, Matt here from MrLeica.com. So first, let's have a quick look at the light units. I'll show you the difference between the 2 lights if you're on the market to get yourself a new light. If you're not interested in lighting and just want to see the models, feel free to skip ahead. Okay, so the 2 Sirui lights that we're looking at is the C60B cob light bicolor and the E30B light panel. Here they are side by side at the box. And here's a slide I put together showing all the information from the 2 lights. There's a lot of similarities, but the cob light is slightly brighter, slightly lighter, but has the noise of the fan. If we now take a closer look at both units, here's the Sirui lights compared to other lights size-wise, and it is lovely and small. And here's the panel compared to my usual light panels that I use. Batteries are not included, but you can use standard Sony MPF batteries on both lights without any wires or adapters, which makes it really easy. Okay, so first if we look at the E30B soft light panel, you can see the batteries clip onto the back with no extra attachments required. It's got 2 dials for controls. It's got the dimmer switch from 1% to 100%. Then you can set the colour temperature from 2800 to 7000 Kelvin. The design is super slim, so it's really good for travel, fits in a bag. It's got the tripod mount on the bottom and on the end, so you can have it in either orientation. If we now look at the C60B, you can see there's a battery plate that clips on and off the top of the light, and that is included with the light itself, so you don't need any extra bits. I bought the 900 series NPF Sony batteries on Amazon. I can put a link below, and they give roughly, they say around 2 hours full power usage, but I'm sure I got slightly more than that when I was using the light. Both lights have identical controls, as you can see, and the double on-off switch, one side is fusing mains power, one side is fusing battery power. The best thing about this light, it is Bowen S mounts, so you can fit all your large light modifiers, and also if you want to use any type of reflectors. So this is a deeper reflector, I think, than the one you get with it. I've got so many, I think it got mixed up. My top travel hacks: use a smaller reflector, use a smaller tripod mount, and use batteries. And that goes the same for both lights, and that gives you your smallest possible setup. Okay, so those are the light units. Now, more importantly, what can these light units achieve? Let's jump into the behind the scenes shoots with the models in Lanzarote, and I'll share example images and talk through my shots as we go. Okay, before we look at how I use artificial lighting, let's first look at how I light models with natural light. So you can see I've got the sun on the back of her head, and that gives soft light on her face, and the same here, see the hair light? And the light's filling from bouncing up off the wall on the white floor. So that's how I use natural light if there is sunlight. Here's some example photos from the same shoot, daylight only. Okay, for the next day, same exact spots, but we didn't have any sunlight. So I'm now using the artificial light to mock what would be sunlight. So you can see I've got the light slightly to the side of her to give me a really nice hair light. This is shot with daylight only. You can see it's flatter lighting. And now this is shot with my artificial light to give me like a fake low sunlight effect. So this is how I use flash or lights like this, these LED lights, when I'm doing lighting. I tried to make it look real, but look like daylight, but it's actually not daylight. Same again, just for one more example. So light kind of 45 degrees to her face, the same as you would with normal lights, but then me off angle, so it's more lighting like a hair light, and then I'm using daylight as the fill. And then if I want more wrap round, I just pull the light more round so you can see it's hitting part of her face and the front of her. And they normally like this because it's very soft light on their skin, and so you don't really need to edit. All of these photos are just raw plus Mr. Leica black and white presets, so if you want the same effect, you can get the presets in the links below. It's a really good way for no editing. Here's another way of me lighting. So again, trying to fake sunshine, just by shining the light through the leaves. And then as you can see, I'd like to think that doesn't look like artificial. I showed the light here so you can see that it was actually lit with that light. Okay, this is in the evening now, so this is daylight, and this is me mocking daylight with the new Sirui light. So the one great thing about these lights is they are bicolor lights, so I match the temperature of the sunlight with the light, and then that's fake sunlight. It was a bit too strong for me, so first of all I had the light pointing at the front of the model, as you can see here, like most people do in the studio. But what I prefer to do is have the light like I would with the sunlight and have it behind her. So this is now using the LED, as you can see, behind her, and using the reflector to then bounce light from the LED light back onto her face. So you can see the hair light on the back of her head is the LED, the fill light is the reflector. The beauty of these lights being having the ability to use batteries is you can then use them on location. This is like a new thing for me, so being able to visit really cool spaces in the middle of nowhere and use lights is something I really enjoy doing. And with continuous light, you can also find your way home as well. Another great way, as you can see, again, matching the light colour to the sunlight to give you like fake sunlight colour. Obviously, it's not quite realistic because you've got the sunlight behind her and the sun on the front of her face, as it were, but it's a great way to match the lighting. It's also good for night shoots like that. Okay, if you're in a studio situation, this is as if it was in a studio. If you watch my last 3 videos, all 3 videos are recorded in this same little space. For this setup, I'm using, as you can see, one light, and I've just put a bit of material over the front of the reflector end to soften the light up a bit. These are results. Again, they're quite soft because it's shot with a vintage Zeiss sonar lens. All photos in this video are shot with a crop sensor Leica CL. You can see again, one light setup as if you're using this in the studio. You don't need big fancy soft boxes. You can just put a bit of material over the end of the reflector and that will give you a soft light similar to what you would get with a bigger light. Here's me showing next day how I lit the next few images. Light to one side and then doing some mirror shots with obviously her facing the mirror. Okay, what did you think? Have you signed up for Patreon yet? As you can see, light is much more important than the camera or the lens that you use. And what about these lights? Do I like them? Can I recommend them? I really like both lights. Both of them are small enough for my travel. And I think my favourite is definitely the 60 watt Bowen S-mount light. You can use all the different Bowen S-mount modifiers. You can use big soft boxes, you can use strip boxes, you can use barn doors, and it's a really good portable setup. And if you use a deep reflector, it'll also give you more power, so the light will travel a further distance. So thanks so much, Sirui, for making this video possible. And these are now my new YouTube lights. Sirui also kindly sent me discount codes for you guys to use. I'll put links below to Amazon for both the UK and Amazon.com. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more model behind the scenes videos, as I say, check out my Patreon teaching platform. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my awesome patrons, and have a great Christmas.